Something strange is happening inside Trump's circle. JD Vance might already be getting replaced and most people haven't noticed yet. Just months ago, JD Vance was being called the future of MAGA. The heir. The next president. Even Donald Trump himself hinted. Backhand index pointing right, he's probably the favorite. But now, something doesn't add up. Because behind the scenes, Vance's rise might already be falling apart. What changed? Was it Trump's controversial war in Iran? The shocking defeat of ally Viktor Orban? Or the unexpected clash with the Pope that dragged religion into politics? Backhand index pointing right, or is there something bigger no one is saying out loud? Because quietly, almost unnoticed, Vance's chances for 2028 have been sliding fast. According to reports, even Trump himself has started asking a dangerous question: what about someone else? And one name keeps coming up: Marco Rubio, in a private room full of Republican donors. Trump reportedly asked, Vance or Rubio? The response? Not even close. Rubio got the energy. Rubio got the excitement. And just like that, Vance stopped looking inevitable. But here's where it gets interesting. Because Vance's story wasn't supposed to go like this. Back in 2024, at the Republican National Convention, Trump didn't pick him by accident. It was a process. A test. A months-long audition at Mar-a-Lago. And Vance? He passed. He fit the mold perfectly: hardline conservative. America first. Skeptical of NATO. Against endless wars. He even opposed U.S. support for Ukraine. Exactly what MAGA wanted to hear. But then, things started to shift. Quietly at first. Then all at once. Because Vance changed. This is the same man who once said Trump could be America's Hitler. And then? A complete reversal. I was wrong. A political pivot that big always comes with a cost. At first, it didn't matter. In early 2025, Vance dominated a Republican straw poll seen as Trump's obvious successor. But fast forward just a few months. And the numbers tell a different story. His approval rating? Backhand index pointing right, collapsing. From positive to deeply negative. One of the worst for a VP at this stage. In modern US history. Prediction markets? Also turning. His chances of becoming the 2028 nominee dropping. His odds of becoming president? Falling even faster. So what went wrong? Problem number one: he can't escape Trump. Like it or not, Vance is now tied to Trump's decisions. Every controversy. Every conflict. Backhand index pointing right, every war. He tried to stay quiet during the biggest storms, the Epstein saga. The war in Iran. But silence didn't save him. Because sooner or later, Trump pulled him in. Directly. Vance was suddenly tasked with handling negotiations with Iran. No more distance. No more deniability. Problem number two: his foreign policy contradiction. Vance built his brand on one idea. No more wars. No more endless conflicts. But reality? The administration he serves is involved in strikes across Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Somalia, and beyond. That contradiction is hard to ignore. And voters? They've noticed. Even worse, his influence abroad seems to backfire. He backed Orban. He traveled to Budapest. He urged support. And then? Orban lost. Badly. A political embarrassment that made Vance look less like a kingmaker and more like a liability. Add to that a public clash with the Pope, a risky move for a Catholic convert, and suddenly Vance is fighting battles on every front. Problem number three: he may be losing power inside his own administration. Because while Vance struggles, Marco Rubio seems to be gaining ground. Rubio is active, visible, influential in foreign policy. And Vance? Often sidelined. He couldn't stop the war in Iran. He couldn't shape key decisions. And that raises a dangerous question: is he really next in line? Or just another placeholder? Because if you look closely, this might not be an accident. Trump has done this before. Pitting allies against each other. Creating competition. Like a political version of The Apprentice. And now, it's starting to look like we're heading towards something bigger. Backhand index pointing right: Vance versus Rubio. A battle for 2028 that may have already begun. But here's the twist: what if Vance's campaign is already over before it even truly started? Because in politics, you don't fall all at once. You fade. Quietly. Until one day, you're no longer the favorite.